Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another craft with me. I'm not going to call it a tutorial because I didn't come up with the idea. I mean, I guess you could say you're following along and learning from me, but I actually saw this out over Carol Ann over at Cage Crafts on YouTube, and I will link her video in the description box as well as over on all of my social media. So what she did is she created a tag measuring 3 inches by 6 inches, and then she took a circle die or circle punch and she cut circles, 4 circles that are 2.5 inches in diameter. I like my tags to be a little bit bigger. This is actually following her exactly, but I wanted mine a little bit bigger, so I'll talk about that in a second as far as how you can adapt for a bigger tag. So I did put a I messed up on my little eyelet there, so this will go into my sample book or whatever, my template, all my samples. But basically what you have here is you've got this ribbon on here that ties this shut, and you've got a little bit of a writing space. If I can get this open. So I am putting eyelets on my ones I'm making on camera because I feel like that's gonna tear. So if you just open that up like that, you've got a little bit of a writing space. Now I want to toy around with the idea of putting more than one piece of paper in here and having it be a little bit of a book, but I'm not exactly sure how I can do that. I thought perhaps I could have come along and did some kind of a little bit of a gusset or a, oh my goodness, a score line, excuse me. So I might try that. In fact, I don't want to mess up what I've already done. I am still in that space, so I prepared everything because I'm so afraid of just getting everything messed up. So I think we'll stick with the plan, and maybe I'll do one off camera and play around with that and then add that in a photo at the end of the video. My apologies, you guys. I've got some seam binding. I've got 8 circles 4 circles. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 8 circles and 2 bases. So additionally, I do have eyelets, as I mentioned. I'll put 2 eyelets on each of the openings, and I'll also put an eyelet on the top of the tags. And the additional step that I did, I've just really been enjoying embossing. So I embossed this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you add some ink to it. So we're going to emboss both of those, then we'll cut them into our tag shapes, and we'll go on from there. So as I mentioned, Carol Ann did hers 3 by 6 with 2.5 inch circles. I figure basically her measurements are she's going 1/2 inch smaller on her circle than the width of her tag. So that's the principle that I'm following. So I want my tag to be 4 by 7. So I made my circles 3.5 inches in diameter. So that's how you can kind of play around with the size a little bit more. So let's go ahead and cut these into tag shape here really quick. I like my tags to be bigger, so that's why I did this. So I'm just going to do the little cheat trick. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going to say a bad word. I wouldn't intentionally do that, at least not on camera. Ha ha ha. Yes, I do not always use the best words, especially if I'm talking to myself. So let's go ahead and use this to cut our other one, just because. See if I can figure. This is too much thinking for me, guys. Too much stinking thinking. We're just going to cut a new one. As I mentioned, if you guys have been following along on my channel and my videos and such, my mother passed away on Tuesday, so that was earlier in the week that I'm currently still in. It has been a doozy of a week with lots of death anniversaries is the best way to put that. My mother-in-law also died in this week 2 years ago, And then another very, very dear person to me also was lost. And that was, her birthday would have been on Wednesday. So Tuesday, my mom, Wednesday, my special person, and Thursday, my mother-in-law. So it's crazy. Thankfully not in the same year, and you know, a couple of them in the same decade. But so we're going to go ahead and ink this up really quick. I just want to show you the delicious texture you get from this embossing. As you probably already can tell, I am using the kits from my Porch Prints, Fairy Magic, and the Fairy Tea Party kits. I will link them in the supply list. And I don't put the supply list in my video description. I do put it over on my blog, but a link to the blog can be found in the description box. And part of the reason for that is I do a lot of photos. I mean, a lot of photos. And that allows me to do as many as I want and really share a lot of close-ups and elements that you wouldn't see in just a handful of photos. So that's why I do that. Plus I do my blog over there, so even though I only write over there on Sundays, and then not even every Sunday, yeah, so that's why I do that. So those are inked up. So I'm going to go ahead and start. The other thing that I ran into with my sample, let me show you, let me grab it again, is that when I did my holes for my little closure, they do not line up. So I am going to make them line up this time. and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to punch them together. So let's see what we have here. This one, 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 and this one. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up all 8 of the squares first, and I double printed them because I wanted to have, I forgot to grab a piece of paper to go in the center section, so we'll need a piece of paper to go in there to make a book. But I'm really thinking, I'm wondering if I can do this where if I just didn't quite fold it to the edge, then it wouldn't be a circle. I don't know if that would wreck it, so I'm not going to do that this time just because I am, you know, all the pistons are not firing. They're kind of captured right now, being held hostage a little bit in this natural grieving process that we must go through. So, and to boot, my husband is away, so it's like, terrible. I miss him so much. He's my best friend. He is the only one that I tell everything to, and I can be completely honest with him about all of my feelings, and he's just a great, great friend, great spouse. So I miss him very much. The house is very quiet and lonely, but also just trying to enjoy it, you know. I've been home all day today and haven't gone out and don't plan to, and I haven't had any noise on, no TV, no music, no nothing, just being in the quiet, because I feel like that creates a space of where we're just not rushing. We're not trying to move from one thing to the other thing to the other thing. And I haven't even like cleaned anything. I mean, I think I threw a couple loads of laundry in this morning, but that's it. So, you know, did my normal stuff in the morning, like, you know, make the bed and straighten the pillows and that kind of thing. But other than that, I'm trying to be very, I'm just trying to listen to myself and listen to my heart and pay attention to what's going on and sort it. Because there's a lot to sort, and I want to move through it with grace, and I don't want to negatively impact anyone else by the intensity of my emotion. So anyway, that's a lot of information for you guys, so thank you for indulging me. Not that you had a choice. You're just on the other side of the screen, aren't you? But I consider you my friends, so I hope you don't mind. And on the note of Carol Ann, you guys, a lot of the people that watch me watch her too. She is still very, very ill. She has MS, and she is in the hospital again and not doing well, and it's gonna be a while before she gets to go home again. So if you guys pray for her, send her all the good that you can, and just wishes for a full recovery so that she can return to what she loves, which is doing videos and being in her own creative space. So that is that. And she's doing a year-long tag thing. So every week, every Tuesday, she posts a new video of a different tag to make. So it's pretty epic. So this is one of them. I feel like I weakened, well, normally I use a 65-pound paper for my ephemera, and I think this is not, I think this is like 49-pound, so it's a little bit flimsier than I like, but it's still better than 20 pounds, so you can see it's a lot more flexible than what I normally work with, but I think it's okay. The embossing will also break down your paper a little bit too, so that might be part of what I'm experiencing as well. I feel like this one is thicker. I'll have to hold them both here in a second and see if I can tell the difference. There we go. Get rid of my crumminess. Okay, so nope, I feel like they're the same. So basically what you're gonna do, let's start with this one. So I'm going to pick my two circles that I want to go on the sides. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take each of your circles and you're going to fold them in half. And because I have striped pattern on the back, I'm going to try to fold it as straight as I can. It's a little bit hard because I can't really see where that's lining up, but I'm going to just do the best I can and then go ahead and give that a good crease. I think I might have done okay with that. Let's see. Yeah, not bad. So that's that, and then we'll fold, so we'll fold two of them this way and then the other one the other way. So I feel like if I hold it like that, I'm going to get it better. Goodness gracious, you guys, I'm so sorry. There we go. We'll ink those edges too here in a second. So this one I want to do the opposite way. So I should be able to line that up a little bit easier than when it's on the inside. So I'm not too concerned about it being super perfect, you know. And one more going that way. I love these two papers together for some reason. They're very they attract me, so I use them a lot, like in that combination in the kits. So guys, I've been in the studio a while today, so oh, that's not straight. I'm not sitting up very straight, so my back is bothering me, which is bad habit. Let's see if we can straighten that out. That was a little crooked. There we go. That's a little bit better. So let's go ahead and ink these edges. So I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you for your patience as I get back on my creative feet here. The other thing is that our school district had to run a levy a second time, and it is failing the second time as well. So that means a lot of very unhappy things happening in our school. So not thrilled about that. It's a lot of uncertainty that is difficult. So I love that. I think I want to, let's see how I want that to be. So basically what you probably would want to see how this works first, right? It'd be like that. So, but if I do the green, the fold over, then I think I want to, yeah, I think I want these to be on the side. So we'll have this one be on the top. It blends in quite a bit, but I think there's something appealing about that too. So basically what you're doing is you're going to line these all up and they're going to form a square. Okay, so they're going to form a square like that. Oh, we want that one down here. Okay, and then, oh goodness, Cara-Renee, like that. And then these ones would go this way, which will make more sense as I start gluing. So let me just do that. That might make it a lot clearer for you guys. And I do want to kind of look and see which ones of these I like better. I think I like this side better than that side. So, oh, actually not, because I've got purple seam binding, so I think I'll do that. So you're just going to glue this side, and I am using my Fabri-Tac so I have time to move it around. Because you do want to make sure that you get it straight, not only this way, but this way. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and then I will be able to wiggle it once I get it into place. So that looks to be pretty good. I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to hold it up just to make sure, because I'm not necessarily trusting that all of my embossing was straight. So I think that looks pretty darn good though. And then we're going to go with one of the side ones here, and it's going to go here. So we're going to glue this side. But guys, please, please, please go over and show Carol Ann some love over on her channel, especially as she's down and I don't think she's putting out any content. I don't recall. It's been a hard week, so I don't know if she put out her Tag Tuesday video or not. I know she had said that they were all pre-recorded quite a ways out, but I don't know if that went up on her channel or not. So let's just see if that looks pretty straight. You want it to be pretty squared up, like so. So we've got two down, and then we're going to put this one down as well with the, I guess it doesn't really matter what's on top, right? Probably would have mattered. I am going to try to pull that up because I feel like I would prefer this one to be under it. So I'm just going to pull that up for a moment and then just glue this one down. So pardon me, guys. Just for the look, the interior look, I think it's better to do that. So I'm just going to slide this in here. This is risky because I can't see the sides as well, so I'm just going to do my best. And I'm going to plop that over. That looks pretty darn good. Yep, nice and straight. So we're good. Oh, not that way, Cara-Renee! Ah! Oh my goodness gracious. My brain is not working. We don't want that covered up. Goodness gracious. I'm going to just rub that with my finger and hope I can get some of that glue off. It's Fabri-Tac, so it does ball up, and you can get it off pretty easily. So there's that. Oh my goodness gracious. It looks like this is low though now, because I'm getting some. Pulling it just a little bit if I can without tearing it. I think that's okay. Whew, goodness sakes. So that's that, and that's that, and then this one's going to go here. So we're going to go ahead and glue the back of this one. And we're going to, it would have probably been good if I had inked the inside of that. I'm going to turn this, guys. If I'd inked the inside lines here, then I would have been able to see those. But right now I can't really tell which is which. So I'm just going to go like that and see. Looks pretty good. I'm going to scoot it just a little bit. Yeah. I need to come out a little bit though. I'm not at my best, you guys. Like, you know, those when you have kind of delayed responses and reactions. That's how I'm feeling right now. So there we go. So that's that. That's that, and that's that. Love it. Got some ink on there. I'm not happy about that. That's probably from my printer. So got a little bit of bunching up over here, but you know, we're gonna have to just go with it. On the next one, I'll ink the inside lines as well, because then we would have an easier time. I do love this though, because a person could write here and they can write here. So that's kind of nice. So, oh, and I didn't, I was supposed to punch my holes. Okay, let's see if we can find a workaround here. So I'm going to make it my ground zero ruler. Hold on. You'll know what I mean when I show you. If I can find it. Ground zero. Okay. Here's the ground zero ruler. So basically, you can put this right here and you can find your center. So I'm going to find my center there. So that is exactly the center. So I can erase this line if I need to. So I'm going, well, I will need to, but I'm going to just make a light line here. Just going down to that point, and then I'm going to do the same here. And that's going to give me a place to do my punch. So as long as I keep it on that line and approximately the same distance, I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to pop right there, and I'm going to go in a little bit. I think it was also too close. So punch that. Okay. Then we're going to do the same over here. This was a good workaround. I mean, it actually works quite well, actually. So let's see, what's our distance from the top? Not far. That's not as important to me as the distance across from each one. So I'm going to erase these lines here. It's not optimal, but you know, there's usually a workaround. That looks pretty straight. Looks pretty straight. I wish I could erase that black. I think that's from my printer, but that's okay. I'm loving that though. So we do need a thing. I think I'll do that off camera. So because I am going to play around with, would it be possible for me to add a couple of pieces of paper in here? I'm not sure if that would work or not. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to get my cutter out and cut this off camera. I mean, on camera. So I am just going to go with this. So that is that. So let's go ahead and set our eyelets. So much jibber jabbering. It's taken forever. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and set this one really quick. If you don't have one of these, they are a, uh-oh. Why isn't it opening all the way? Come on. Don't mess with me now. I'm not in the mood. There we go. Needed to find my strength here. Oh, that one's flayed out terrible. Some of them you just get a bad one and they're bad. So I'm just going to pound that. I don't like that at all. I think I pushed too hard because I was panicking. But it's okay. It happens. Remember, perfection is not at play in the studio. At least it's not in mine. So I just kind of breathe and let myself be okay with the imperfection. That did the same thing. Goodness gracious. Sorry for the banging. Bummer. Okay, so let's get some, oh, and then we need to do our top one. Well, let's go ahead and fasten this first. I love that. Isn't that so cute? Even like that, it's adorable. Adorable, Carol Ann. So let's get, I've got a really long length here. I don't need all of that, but I will just trim it up. So I just picked the purple just because it was just in my regular drawer. It wasn't in one of the baskets. That my desk looks like a bomb went off today, so I didn't want to dig out the baskets because where do I put them on the desk? There's no room. So I just reached in the cabinet and got another one. So we're going to just tie that in a little bow. Carol-Ann just used some twine, which was really pretty too. I don't think I have any, and it's too rustic for me. So it kind of depends on, oops, that's not the right way to tie that. It's not my favorite thing. I like grungy, but I'm not a big fan of like the really woodsy kind of feel to things. A really organic feeling is not really my taste, so let's get this extra out of the way here. Boy, oh boy, Cara-Renee, you are just fit to be tied. Fit to be tied. There we go. So I need to be more careful with that though. That was way too long. So beautiful. So let's go ahead and get our one in the top as well. So in case you didn't notice, because I didn't explain it, I am using the smaller, I think it's the 1/8, I don't know which one it is, the smaller eyelet anyway, and the smaller hole. I'm going to try to go lighter on this squeeze here and see if I can avoid really oversetting that. I think that's what's happening, is I'm just pushing too hard. That didn't go though. So yep, just some bad brads or bad eyelets here. There we go. It's okay. Another length of this for the top. These are adorable. Simply adorable. I have another one of hers I'm going to try too. I haven't really spent a lot of time on YouTube this week. Very minimal. But went back to my inspiration list. So when I watch a video that I really love, I comment on it, and then I tuck it into my own inspiration playlist, and then I can go back and find that video. So I was just reviewing some of those that I had stashed in there. So there is our beautiful tag. So I'll probably put some words or something on here. I'm not exactly sure, but on the back you also have this beautiful deboss of that script, which is really pretty. So let's do the second one, and we will probably speed through bits of this. But this time I am going to punch these holes at the same time, you guys. So let's see. I guess it doesn't really matter which way you go, so I am going to just figure out what I'm doing here first. So I'm just going to punch a hole there. And you know what? Actually, I think I need to fold them first. I feel like that's a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm listening to my gut here, which has not been speaking very loudly lately. You'd think it would be shouting at me right now, but it's really not. It's really not. Okay. So now that it's folded, I think we have better success at getting a hole in the right spot. So let's just do that. Should have no trouble going through. And I'm just estimating, at least if they're the same. That's all I care about, is that they're the same. So there we go. And I'll put the eyelets in a second. So these are going to be on the side, like here. And so these ones are going to be the others going down. That's the same print as the digital. So I'm just going to fold these as well. I have to pick it up though to get that other edge. Okay. Such beautiful images, you guys. If you're not familiar with my porch prints, oh my gosh, they're just epic. Epic. So many of their kits, so there's just not enough. There's not enough time in the day, not enough weeks in the year, not enough anything to get to all the things that I want to do. I'm going to ink these up. Oh, and we wanted to ink the inside, so let me be sure and do that as well. Don't let me forget. I'm going to hear you screaming through the line. Just kidding. This is pre-recorded. Okay, folding over and inking on the inside edge as well. Folding that back so I don't get confused. So you guys find whatever things you put in place to keep your process feeling, feeling clear for you, you know, because we all have the little things that we miss or that we kind of can lose track of. And so do what makes sense to you to keep track of stuff. So these are our holes, so we're going to go ahead and do those really quick. I wish this was working better because I'm not loving that. Oh, I don't need to do that. I don't need to punch it again. So we want this image on the outside, and I'm going to go ahead and set it. I think also I'm used to working with heavier paper, and I'm not working with heavier paper, so but those are just splaying out. That tells me that it's an eyelet issue, because look at how that's splayed out like that. It's not really sharp or anything, so I'm not gonna worry about it. It's setting too deep, but I don't know how to avoid that. If you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. Maybe I'm just stronger than I realize. So let's be patient, Cara-Renee. Let's just give it a good squeeze. Because it feels like it goes to a point and then it goes all the way, and you're committed. Yeah, so that was gentle pressure, and it still did that. So these are terrible eyelets, but we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so these are the top ones. These are the inside, so they're going to go like that. It doesn't really matter like which goes on top or bottom in this regard. So, yeah. So we're going to again start with the top piece. Okay, now we've got lines on the inside. That's probably going to help us to be able to line this up. I'm going to try to go a little bit higher on this one too. That one was really low. I mean, not that that's terrible. This might be about the same though. I'm not sure. Not sure. And the Fabri-Tac is also good in this case because I am putting this on an embossed base, so it's bumpy. So let's do that. Okay. And then we're going to go with this one because I need that. Well, how did we mess that other one up? Yeah, no, I didn't really mess it up because this is all going to be covered over. So it was really not a mess up because you're not going to see any of that. So it doesn't really matter whether this goes underneath. I feel like lining it up is easier to put this one on top in place first because then you've got a square to deal with. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to hope for the best. It's just a tag, guys. It's just a tag. It's not a big deal. So, but I am going to play off camera and see if I can figure out how to put more little writing space in the inside. Because I wonder if one could put like just like a little gusset at the top and actually staple it in or something. I'm not sure. Not sure how that would work. I feel like that's pretty straight. So your tag would need to be straight, or none of this is gonna work. So that's our closure, and so we want this one to go on the bottom. So I'm going to put glue on the back of this one. Okay, so we're going to just slide that down and just give it in place. Just eye-spying it along the bottom, because that's my best measurement right now, is just to kind of, and I'm pretty good visually being able to see that, so I feel like I get a little bit of bulk in that corner though. But I'm afraid if I move it over, it's gonna create bulk on the other side, so we're just gonna go with it. Okay, and then this one goes on this side, so we want the closure going that way. So we're gonna put glue on this side. So I will do one more off camera and play around, and I will put a bunch of photos at the end so you guys can see how everything turned out. And probably do a little bit of decorating too if I decide to put anything on them. So there we go. Just opening that just to see. Feels like we don't have a lot of space for some reason. There. So we got closure, closure. Yeah, see, we're cutting into that, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if my circle is, you know, maybe it needs to come out a little bit or something. I don't know. But it's imperfect, but that's okay. So there we go. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera. I'm going to put my other eyelet and my strings and all that, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.